Hi, I'm a 38F and have been with my spouse 45M for 14 years, dated for 4 years living separately, then moved in and dated and got engaged for 2 years and now married for 7. We have one child who is 6. We knew each other vaguely and briefly from years prior in a completely different state because we happened to work at the same place. I guess around 2011/2012 we both went through bad breakups and had the opportunity to move to a new state for a fresh start. Keep in mind, we hardly knew each other prior and due to work and didn't keep in touch after that job, so neither of us would know the other person was moving or what state they were moving to. Anyways, I moved to a new state, been there about a month or so, and I happened to see someone in a store that looks vaguely familiar to me, which is strange because I live in a new state and I shouldn't know anybody. I eventually said he looked familiar to me, but I couldn't place him. He said there was no way I'd know him as he just moved to this state a week earlier. Out of curiosity, I asked where from, and he said the same state I'd just moved from. I pictured different hair/facial hair on him, and it clicked that I knew him from 5 years prior at a brief job we both had. I told him, and we both kind of laughed about it, and he asked if I'd like to get coffee as it was weird, but nice to see a kind of familiar face. I said sure, because I kind of felt the same about a kind of familiar face. We hung out, and then kept hanging out every day. Honestly, I wasn't attracted to him at all. I was just lonely and in a new place, and he lived with roommates, and I thought maybe that would be a good way to meet new people and friends. We hung out a lot for a couple weeks, and then he very casually said, "I don't plan on trying to date anyone else. What about you?" And then I realized he thought we were seeing each other. There is a slight side quest story that I don't want to go into, but here is where I will tell you that I was 200 pounds heavier than I currently am now. Due to my weight/self-esteem and loneliness, I figured, so what, he had no job, no car, no money, and lives in his friend's basement at the moment, but why not? I'm not a prize. So I said, yeah, all right. At this point, we just got comfortable in the relationship. I had a career and he bounced from job to job, McDonald's, server, warehouse, etc. Nothing was ever stable with him. When we moved in together after dating for 4 years, he had an overnight serving job and he worked a good amount. I still had my career. He bought a beater truck for like $800 and of course it broke, so he had to use my car for work. We never went anywhere or did anything, and he always claimed it was due to money and our schedule since I work a typical 9 to 5 and he works nights and weekends. I guess I accepted that. I used to BEG for S3X, and he would give me every excuse not to, and then I'd always catching him watching P0RN or in P0RN/mutual play chat rooms. He would make excuses that our schedules are different, and he isn't going to wake me up, and he can take care of it faster. I guess I accepted that. I remember wanting to get myself together and lose weight, and I asked him how he felt about me getting weight loss surgery, and he got incredibly angry with me and just simply would say he doesn't support that. So I didn't bring it up anymore, but kept trying diet after diet because I wanted to get healthy and I wanted to lose weight because I've struggled my whole life with it. After a year of living together, I came home from work and let him know his tax return check had been deposited that day. He was sitting on the back porch smoking a cigarette as he was about to get my car keys from me and got to work. He puffed a few more times and shrugged and said, "You want to get married?" And I thought he was joking, so I rolled my eyes and gave him the keys and walked inside. He followed me in and said he wasn't joking, but I had to find and but my ring because he is old-fashioned and doesn't know how to use a computer or phone to order things, so I found and got a ring. It got delivered and I had to sign for it. I brought it into the room where he was still sleeping at 1 p.m. and tapped him and let him know it was there. He took it and put it on his night table and rolled over. He slept 2 more hours, woke up, went to the bathroom, walked into the living room and tossed me the box while he yawned and said, "Here you go." He got ready and left for work. We got married and moved to a new state to be by my folks as they are getting older. This was his choice. He said he felt it would help with my depression because he worked a lot and I was lonely. Once we moved here, he wouldn't let me drive anywhere. We have lived here for almost 7 years, and I can count on one hand the amount of times I've been allowed to drive. He hates going out and doing things. He hates being around people, like hanging out with people. He didn't want me to hang out with my family, so anytime we would, he always made an excuse that we had to leave early or right away. I have never been able to go out and do something by myself since we moved here. If I do go out, my mom picks me up and he will give me a guilt trip about how much he is going to miss me and how lonely it is when I'm gone because I am his only friend. He then will call me several times while I am out to see what I am doing and when I am coming home. Remember how I had to beg for S3X? He gave it up on our dating anniversary, and I ended up accidentally preggo. Had my kid, which triggered a wicked autoimmune disorder. He ate a PB&J while I pushed to deliver our kid. Due to my autoimmune disorder, my doc suggested weight loss surgery because I needed to get weight off my joints quick to help with pain. He told me he still didn't agree with it or support it. I did it anyways. I lost 200 pounds and have kept it off, and let me tell you, he is the one begging for S3X now. It is constant. He doesn't have a job and hasn't for a while now. I still have my career and work from home, which keeps me even more isolated. He basically filled me around all day trying to do something S3zual to me. He has bought crazy toys and pills and gels, etc., and is constantly touching me. About 2.5 years ago, I told him no, I did want to have S3X, and we ended up in a 6-hour argument where he told me that S3X was the only thing we had in common, and that it is all he thinks about and wants, and that I am his wife and need to give it to him. And if for some reason I can't have S3X, there are other things I can do and should do as my wifely duties. And I would like to say that once I'd lost weight, we were having S3X at least twice a week, and it always lasted an hour or two. It isn't like I wasn't give him any at all. This fight has continued to happen. It is such a cringy feeling that he starts such a big fight about it, and the fact that he feels entitled to and expects me to bend whenever he commands is gross. I can feel my entire body tense when he enters a room. My stomach turns to a knot when he touches me, and I have to give myself an entire day worth of pep talk to convince myself to have S3X with him just to keep him from getting mad and starting another fight. He cannot keep a job and has been unemployed for over 3 years now and blames my mom because she took our kid to her first movie in a theater, and he wanted to do that because his dad used to take him and his bro to the movies all the time. He caused an outrageous fight between me and my family, which I swear at this point feels like it was to further isolate me. We are super broke as I pay all the bills since he doesn't work. My phone pings a lot with overdraft notices, and I will say something to him, and he will just keep scrolling his phone and walk off. I cook, clean, take care of the kid, work a full-time job, pay all the bills. He drops the kid off and picks the kid up from school and sleeps all day. Due to my autoimmune disorder, I can't take over-the-counter pain meds, so I was prescribed a medical MJ card. I'll get some, and he just smokes it all day long. One day my phone is going off non-stop with overdraft notices, and he is smoking bowl, and I had basically nothing left, and I was keeping it for sleep. He came back inside to get more, and I got upset, and said, "Can you just stop, please?" And he said, "Yeah, I can wait until you are off work." And he went to take a nap while I finish my workday. He doesn't do laundry because he doesn't know how and refuses to let me teach him. He doesn't clean the house because it doesn't bother him and it isn't that bad. He never did dishes because they were gross. I finally convinced him if he will keep the dishwasher unloaded, I will load it. I still have to tell him all the time, several times, that it needs to be unloaded. He doesn't want to mow the lawn. He doesn't want to fix any of the things that need some maintenance. He can't apply for jobs or take an online course because he is old school and doesn't know how to work a computer or smartphone. He quit smoking cigarettes right before our kid turned 1, and I was really proud of him. He said I had done a lot of work on myself mentally and physically, and he wanted to do work, so he quit smoking. Again, he doesn't work, he hasn't worked, and it's because he says everyone picks on him at jobs, and he is targeted. I went in the backyard the other day when I took a break from work and found him hiding behind a tree smoking a cigarette. Very financially responsible choice considering he is contributing barely anything, and the silent numbness that has consumed me for years now, the constant tension of walking on eggshells, melted, and I realized, this man has drained me for almost 15 years. I have nothing left to give him. He hates dates, he hates concerts, he hates sports, he hates hanging out with people, he hates trips or vacation, and I cannot enjoy or do any of these things without him because I will get a guilt trip about him being lonely and not having friends, about how he just wanted to hang out with me. I am miserable with him. We have absolutely nothing in common except our child. He also talks nonstop, and I've gotten so quiet because he speaks over me and for me the majority of the time. He also thinks he is incredibly smart and knows more than anybody else and says awful things about people, like they aren't as smart as him or he could have done it better. I was raised in a very religious household, and I still believe in God, but struggle with religion. He does not believe in God at all. Our kid wanted to pray for him because he had a headache because our kid's grandmother prayed for our kid when they didn't feel good. My spouse decided to spiral into a loud rant to our kid about how God isn't real and the Bible is just a storybook and prayer doesn't work. I don't agree with this, but I also don't know how to approach it because I am so tired of everything I say being an argument. He tells me all the time he loves me and is in love with me, and he constantly rubs on me and kisses on me no matter what I am doing, and he is always trying to get some. But it feels strange the way he says and does it. Our kid laughed and made the statement, "Mommy, Daddy loves you so much he doesn't let you leave the house." And he says things to our kid in front of me like, "You are such a lucky kid because your mom and dad love each other so much we will be together forever, and you will never know what it's like yo have divorced parents." I don't know what to do. I feel so trapped and isolated, but he is doing it in such a weird way that I feel like a bad person for wanting to leave him. Any advice helps. Ask questions. I can clarify things if I need to.